Ya ikhwati, this is Jahannam. Jahannam has been described by the Prophet ﷺ in many hadith Rasulullah ﷺ which are authentic. Let me tell you some of the descriptions of Jahannam that are authentic. Number one, we know that Jahannam has been lit for 70 years until it turned white, then 70 years until it turned red, and then for another 70 years until Jahannam turned black, meaning it was kindled. So what that basically means is that the angels, the 19 angels of Jahannam, they kept on blowing into it, blowing into it, blowing into it, and throwing into it bodies of shayateen and ins, and throwing into it rocks and whatever else into it to kindle the fire until the fire has been kindled for 210 years. How long does it take to start a fire? Have you ever started a fire in the woods? It only takes 10 minutes, right? Sometimes if you get a light and then you blow a little bit and then it comes up. Sometimes when you start a barbecue, has anyone started a barbecue? It takes only 15 minutes sometimes. You kindle it, a little bit of air, alhamdulillah. Imagine something that has been kindled for 210 years. 210 years of fire has been building. That is what has happened to Jahannam. Number two, Jahannam is huge. The Prophet ﷺ told us that Jahannam has 70,000 rings. On each of the rings is a rope. On each of the rope is 70,000 angels. Huge, massive. We also know that Jahannam is insatiable. What does that mean? Insatiable means it every time you throw people in there, the more hungry it gets. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Qaf, He said, يَوْمَ نَقُولُ لِجَهَنَّمْ. On that day when we will call out to Jahannam, هَلِمْ تَلَأْتِ, are you full? And Jahannam will say, هَلْ مِن مَزِيد, is there any more? Okay, is there any more? And the tafsir mentions that Jahannam will ask for more and more. And it will not stop doing it until Allah puts His foot on Jahannam and squashes Jahannam. On that point, Jahannam will say, Bas, that's it, Ya Rab, I'm full. That's on the authentic hadith of Rasulullah. The third description of Jahannam is that the Prophet ﷺ said that it is 70 times hotter than the hottest fire in this dunya. Okay? 70 times hotter than the hottest fire. What is the hottest fire that we know of in existence? Millions of Kelvin, which is the temperature of the sun. So it is hotter than even the temperature of the sun, 70 times. And in the Arabic language, when you say 70, it means countless. Okay, that's why Allah says to Rasulullah, even if you were to ask 70 times to forgive the non-Muslims, I would still not forgive them. That does not mean that only ask 71 times and Allah will forgive. No, it means 70 means, in the word 70 in Arabic means countless. Right. Also, ya ikhwati, the next description of Jahannam that has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that it is so huge and that the fire is so immense that it throws out sparks. And the sparks are so great that they are like castles. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, He says, إِنَّهَا تَرْمِي بِشَرَرٍ كَالْقَصَرٍ كَأَنَّهَا جِمَالَةٌ صُفُرٍ. It throws out sparks, and each spark is so huge. إِنَّهَا تَرْمِي بِشَرَرٍ. Verily it throws out sharara, which is sparks. كَالْقَصَرٍ. They are as huge palaces. If you were to see them as the sparks come out. Have you seen the sparks when they weld and the sparks come out? Well, imagine that Jahannam has sparks that are coming out continuously. And when the sparks come out, remember how the sparks come and they just sometimes fall on the ground like that? Have you seen that? So the Quran says when it comes out, it is like a huge castle. And as it walks off or falls on the ground and goes off, كَأَنَّهَا جِمَالَةٌ صُفُرٍ. It is as if they are red camels, a group of red camels when they are flowing out or they're running away. Can you imagine a pack of red camels? This is how huge the sparks are. Also, the next description of Jahannam that has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that people will enter Jahannam and have clothes made of fire made from them. Clothes of fire. فَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا قُطِّعَتْ لَهُ ثِيَابٌ مِّن نَارٍ يُصَبُّ مِنْ فَوْقِ رُؤُوسِهِ الْحَمِيمِ. So as for the one who has disbelieved, then clothes made of fire will be cut out for him. So we understand that the Jahannam has clothes made of fire that people will wear. Clothes made of fire. The next description given by the scholars, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what number I'm at. The next description that the Quran says is that Jahannam has a special food that comes from a special tree. And that tree is called Zaqqum. Inna shajarata Zaqqum mita'amul athim kalmuhli yashwil butun kaghallil hamim. It's in Surah Safat. Verily, the tree of Zaqqum, it has a fruit that resembles the heads of shaitan. So can you imagine the head of a shaitan? And if you were to bite into it, then it scalds, meaning it's acidic, it burns the inside. So this is the food of the people of Jahannam, the shajarat al-zaqqum. And it is a shajara that grows from the fire itself. Right. The next description of Jahannam that the Prophet ﷺ gave was that the people who will enter Jahannam will be made very, very big and large. They'll be made massive. Until the Prophet ﷺ said that the molar teeth of the non-Muslim in Jahannam will be the size of the Mount of Uhud. The molar tooth will be the size of the mountain of Uhud. Can you imagine how big they are? And the Prophet ﷺ also said that the seat of a person in Jahannam, the chair that a person in Jahannam will sit on is the size of the distance between Medina and Makkah, which is approximately 500 kilometers. Subhanallah. Can you imagine how big it is? How huge is the distance and how big their bodies will be? Why will Allah make their bodies so big? So that they feel the punishment even more. There's more surface area. There's more to punish. And so the punishment is felt even worse and even more severe. So ya akhwati, this is what has driven people mad. And this is the punishment and this is the fire of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you know how severe the fire is? You know how severe the punishment is? That even a small amount of Jahannam, a small amount of the fire is enough to make your brains boil. We know that Abu Talib will have the least of the punishment. The Prophet's uncle will have the least of punishment, which is a sandal made from fire, but his brains will boil from it. Authentic hadith in Sahih Muslim. Also we know that Jahannam is a place of ambush. We know that Jahannam is a place of ambush. That there are hidden creatures in Jahannam that Allah has created to punish the people of Jahannam. Okay? And that's in Surah Juz Amma, in Surah Naba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Jahannam is a place of إِنَّهَا كَانَ مِرْصَادًا لِلطَّاغِينَ مَآبًا. Verily, inna Jahannama kanat mirsada. Verily, Jahannam is a place of ambush. And the tafsir of that verse mentions that there are all these wondrous creatures Allah has created in Jahannam, all made of fire, that will pounce upon the people of Jahannam in order to bite upon them. So, ya akhwati, this is Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and me from it, and our families from it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us away from it and write for us safety from Jahannam today. Oh Allah, make us from those people who are safe from Jahannam.